We must remember that there's always an interaction between two components. We always have two components where the degree of adaptation or matching between them either generates fertility and development or degeneration. If there's a good match, creative processes that get closer to the truth can take place and psychological meanings can be developed. But if the adaptation is problematic, there's a distancing from truth and the inner concepts lose their meanings. Bion marks these dynamics of distancing from the truth with the minus sign. For example, he writes minus K or minus container contained. I want to give some examples of container contained outside of Bion's language and point to the fact that nothing has meaning by itself. Only within an interaction is meaning generated. For example, let's take an item in a museum. If that artistic article were thrown in the corner of a warehouse or in a place not appropriate for it in the museum, nobody would pay attention to it. Nobody would understand what the meaning of this piece is. On the other hand, when the article is in its place, in a space appropriate for it, its meaning suddenly unfolds. Let's take another example. Let's say someone writes something profoundly deep, personal or philosophical, something they should have incorporated into an article or book, and posts it on Facebook. People will or will not like it, but there's no match between the container, Facebook, and the contained, the content. Instead of generating meaning and increasing the meanings of the things he wrote, this concordance only decays or degenerates these meanings and makes them superficial. There's always a specific match between the container and the contained, and this match generates and determines the meaning. Let us remember that from Bion's point of view, we have beta elements and alpha function. This pair is also a type of container contained. We return to the subject of thinking. From Bion's point of view, thinking is an interaction between two components, between thoughts and an apparatus that thinks them, like a thought machine. As a result of this model, Bion detailed that thoughts can exist without a thinker. They're like thoughts that float in space and wait for a container, a thinker who can think them. Contrariwise, a thinker without thoughts can also be imagined. Only a correct dynamics between the thought and the thinker generates meanings.